A Social Work Career Guide. Chapter 1. A Social Work Guide. Social work/mental health career. You can read a more in-depth version of this article at bls.gov/oco/ocos060.htm. Mental health professionals in mental health are primarily concerned with the well-being of an individual's mental and emotional state. Mental health professionals focus on how a mental illness or disorder may impact the way a person thinks, behaves, and interacts with other people. This multidisciplinary professional field includes psychiatrists, psychologists, psychoanalysts, social workers, and marriage and family therapists. Psychiatrists are able to prescribe medicines whereas other mental health professionals cannot. Psychologists diagnose and work with a variety of disorders such as depression, eating disorders and substance abuse. Some are experts in diagnostic testing. Psychoanalysts focus on getting to the root of long-term problems rather than immediate. Social workers focus on assessing a person's environment and the internal mental processes by implementing a plan that will improve their situation. Marriage and family therapists evaluate and treat mental and emotional disorders as well as other health or behavioral problems within the family. Social workers help individuals, families, and groups cope with their problems. Among the major helping professions, social work is distinguished by a tradition of concern for the poor and the disadvantaged. Social workers might identify the need for assistance of children, teenagers, young adults, or older persons in places such as community centers, schools, hospitals, nursing homes and correctional institutions. Social workers work in conjunction with or coordinate the efforts of civic, religious, business and union organizations to combat social problems through community programs. For a neighborhood or larger area, they may help plan and develop health, housing, welfare, and recreation services. Social workers often coordinate existing services, organize fundraising for community social welfare activities and aid in developing new community services. Social workers who specialize in family services counsel individuals, work to strengthen personal and family relationships and help clients cope with problems. Medical social workers are trained to help patients and their families with problems that may accompany illness or inhibit recovery and rehabilitation. They work in hospitals, hospices, health maintenance organizations, nursing homes, rehabilitation centers, and offices of physicians. Hospital social workers may work with patients or with families of patients suffering from emotionally devastating illnesses. Discharge planning is an increasingly important area of practice for hospital social workers because prospective payment, Medicare's new system of paying for hospital care, has made timely discharge a factor in the hospital's financial well-being. The mental health field attracts the most social workers. Much effort has gone into developing community residential facilities and an array of supportive services for the mentally disabled, services such as outreach, crisis intervention, social rehabilitation and training in skill of everyday living, to name a few. Social workers provide these services in community mental health centers, outpatient psychiatric clinics and drop centers. Providing individual and group therapy is one of the principal tasks of social workers in state mental hospitals, Veterans Administration hospitals, private psychiatric hospitals and psychiatric units of general hospitals. Many of the small but growing number of social workers in private practice are clinical social workers. Like other mental health professionals, they offer psychotherapy or counseling to individuals, families, or groups. They might counsel families of troubled adolescents, help couples deal with marital difficulties, or organize group sessions for families of cancer victims, for example. Social workers who specialize in the field of aging are also increasing in number. They plan and evaluate services for the elderly and help older persons and their families deal with difficulties brought about by diminished capacities and changed circumstances. Nearly 40% of social work jobs are in state, county, or municipal government agencies, primarily in departments of human resources, social services, child welfare, mental health, housing, education, and corrections. Most in the private sector are in voluntary social service agencies, community and religious organizations, hospitals, nursing homes or home health agencies. Besides the bachelor's in social work, BSW, Undergraduate majors in psychology, sociology, and related fields satisfy hiring requirements in many social service agencies. A master's degree in social work, MSW, is generally required for positions in the mental health field and is almost always necessary for supervisory, administrative, or research positions. Currently, the Council on Social Work Education accredits 383 BSW programs and 117 MSW programs. BSW programs prepare graduates for direct service positions such as caseworker or group worker. There are 56 doctoral programs for PhDs in social work and DSWs, Doctor of Social Work. A number of graduate programs have developed joint degree programs in social work and another discipline. All states and the District of Columbia have licensing, certification or registration laws regarding social work practice and the use of professional titles. Standards vary by state. In addition, voluntary certification is offered by the National Association of Social Workers, NASW, which awards the title ACSW, Academy of Certified Social Workers, to those who qualify. For clinical social workers, professional credentials include listing in the NASW Register of Clinical Social Workers or in the Registry of Healthcare Providers in Clinical Social Work. Employment of school social workers is expected to grow, due to expanded efforts to respond to the adjustment problems of immigrants, children from single-parent families and rising rates of teen pregnancy. Moreover, continued emphasis on integrating disabled children into the general school population, a requirement under the Education for All Handicapped Children Act, will lead to more jobs. Availability of state and local funding will dictate the actual increase in jobs in this setting, however. Many different directories of private social help centers are available from Oryx Press, 4041 N Central, Phoenix, Arizona 85012800-279-6799, oryxpress.com. Try number 360-369 or H, Library of Congress System, at the library, especially number 362 for social service information. Try your local health and mental health departments and organizations. Refer to the Nonprofit Jobs book. Some job titles similar to social worker are case manager, clinical therapist, mental health therapist, psychotherapist, clinical social worker, community support worker, counselor, and probation agent. Psychiatrists have a medical degree and need to complete a 4-year residency in psychiatry. Post-baccalaureate training is approximately 8 years. Psychologists need to have a doctorate, such as a PhD or a PsyD, Doctor of Psychology, and a state-authorized license. Post-baccalaureate training is 5 or more years. Psychoanalysts have the credentials of a psychiatrist, psychologist, or a social worker and are also trained in the psychoanalytic field. Post-baccalaureate training is 5 or more years. Social workers in mental health need a Master's of Social Work, MSW degree plus a state license to be a licensed clinical social worker. Post-baccalaureate training for LCSW is 4 or more years. Some social workers earn a MSW and do community-based work, usually 2 years of post-baccalaureate training is needed. Marriage and family therapists, MFT, have at least a master's degree with training and experience in marriage and family therapy. Social work career specializations: Army mental health specialist, child welfare social work, clinical social work, disability policy worker, disability case manager, geriatric social work, medical social work, mental health social work, public health social work, substance abuse social work. Social work career exploration websites: aamft.org, American Association for Marriage and Family Therapy. aamft.org/resources/online_directories/boardcontacts.asp, state licensing examination, or the abpsi.org, Association of Black Psychologists. aft.org/tools for teachers/becoming.htm, becoming a teacher. AIDS. amhca.org, American Mental Health Counselors Association. APA.org, American Psychological Association. Provides information about a variety of careers in APSA.org, American Psychoanalytic Association. BBS.ca.gov, California Board of Behavioral Sciences. BLS.gov/OCO/OCOS007.htm, Education Administrators. BLS.gov/OCO/OCOS056.htm, Psychologists. BLS.gov/OCO/OCOS058.htm, Recreation Worker. BLS.gov/OCO/OCOS059.htm, Occupational Outlook Handbook Social and Human Services Assistant. BLS.gov/OCO/OCOS060.htm, Occupational Outlook Handbook Social Workers. BLS.gov/OCO/OCOS067.htm, Counselors. BLS.gov/OCO/OCOS067.htm, Occupational Outlook Handbook Counselors. BLS.gov/OCO/OCOS069.htm, School Teachers. BLS.gov/OCO/OCOS070.htm, Special Education Teachers. BLS.gov/OCO/OCOS082.htm, Recreation Therapist. BLS.gov/OCO/OCOS153.htm, Teacher Assistants. BLS.gov/OCO/OCOS165.htm, Occupational Outlook Handbook Nursing, Psychiatric and Home Health. BLS.gov/OCO/OCOS170.htm, Child Care Worker. BLS.gov/OCO/OCOS170.htm, Preschool Worker. career.berkeley.edu/education/education.stm, Education and Social Work Careers. careers.government.nz, Early Childhood Teacher. cec.sped.org/content/navigation menus/professional development/career center/job profiles/default.h. collegeboard.com/xsearch/majors_careers/majors/13.1001.html, Special Education. collegeboard.com/xsearch/majors_careers/profiles/majors/13.1210.html, Early Childhood. collegegrad.com/careers/proft53.html, Teacher Assistants. connexins-direct.com. connexins-direct.com. connexins-direct.com/jobs4u/index.cfm?PID=47 catalog content TID=730, Teaching Assistant. connexins-direct.com/jobs4u/index.cfm ?PID=63 catalog content TID=665, Youth and Community Counseling Profession. cswe.org, Council of Social Work Education. bls.gov/oco/ocos056.htm, Occupational Outlook. deolata.gov/oa/e-tools3.cfm, Child Development Apprenticeship. myfuture.edu.au. Education. For Psychology. Handbook Psychologist. Has details about licensure for mental health professionals. hect.org/career_pathways.html, Home Economics Career Pathways. iseek.org, Education and Training Careers. iseek.org, Preschool and Kindergarten Teachers. iseek.org/sv/careers $?15002:6110, Education Industry Careers. job-descriptions.org/jobs-in-social-and-welfare-work.html, Jobs in Social and Welfare Work. jobfutures.ca/noc/314.html, therapy and assessment professionals. jobfutures.ca/noc/4153.html, education counselors. jobfutures.ca/noc/4214.html, early childhood educators and assistants. jobfutures.ca/noc/6474.html, babysitters and nannies. jobprofiles.monster.com. michigan.gov/som/0,160,7-192-23422-64666-00.html, teacher aid. myfuture.edu.au, children's entertainer. myfuture.edu.au, youth worker, prenatal and baby. nasbonline.org/standards/index.aspx, National Association of School Psychologists. National examination. nbcc.org, National Board of Certified Counselors, is the largest certification service of the ncate.org/public/faq_careers.asp?ch=2, careers in education, GATE. nimh.nih.gov, National Institute of Mental Health. online.onetcenter.org. online.onetcenter.org/link/summary/19-3031.01, school psychologists. online.onetcenter.org/link/summary/21-1015.00, rehabilitation counselors. online.onetcenter.org/link/summary/21-1093.00, social and human services assistants. online.onetcenter.org/link/summary/25-1194.00, vocational education teachers. personnelcenter.org. personnelcenter.org/para_edu.cfm, para-educator. personnelcenter.org/sch_nas.cfm, school nurse. proftraining.com, Professional Training Institute. psych.org/index.cfm, American Psychiatric Association. psychboard.ca.gov, provides information about additional licensing and examinations in California. Psychology. saludos.com/fields/educate.html, careers in education. socialworkers.org, National Association of Social Workers. stats.bls.gov/oco/ocos153.htm, teacher assistants. TM, Special Education Careers. todaysmilitary.com/careers/job-listings/social-workers, social workers, military. todaysmilitary.com/careers/job-listings/teachers-and-instructors, teachers and instructors, military. uncwill.edu/staff/careers/majors/socialwork.htm, social worker. bls.gov/oco/ocos060.htm, social worker. workers. workforceinfo.state.il.us. workforceinfo.state.il.us/occupations.asp ? cluster =10, human service careers. workfutures.bc.ca. workingwithkids.co.uk/jobs category.html, working with children. Chapter 2. A Social Work Guide 2. Social work job websites/social worker job websites. 1. Social work is a growth industry. You could work anywhere from a hospital helping sick people readjust to their modified health to a jail. Try this formula. socialservices.com. socialservicesal.com, Alabama. socialservicesga.com, Georgia. socialworklicensesemap.com, lots of social work info. cswe.org, Council on Social Work Education. gatephd.org, Group for the Advancement of Doctoral Education in Social Work. NASWDC.org, National Association of Social Workers. SSWR.org, Society for Social Work and Research. Speech Language. ACSWA.org, the American Clinical Social Work Association. NASWDC.org/students/default.asp, National Association of Social Workers Student Center. PhiAlpha.org/index.html, Phi Alpha Honor Society for Social Work. Phi Alpha is a national social work honor society providing student members and school chapters with access to scholarships, grants, and local support. SSWR.org, the Society for Social Work and Research. CSWE.org/accredited-programs.aspx. Careers.socialworkers.org for job listings. Social work job websites/social worker job websites 2. AAMFT.org, American Association for Marriage and Family Therapy. AAMFT.org/resources/career_practice information/career.htm, marital and family therapists. abacoan.com/SOCWK. Aboutmentalhealth.org. ACCH.org, Association for the Care of Children's Health. Adolescent.counselor.jobs.com. AFJ.org, Alliance for Justice, National Association committed to progressive values and creation of an equitable, just and free society. APPA-NET.org, Probation and Parole Association. AppliedSoc.org, Society for Applied Sociology. APSA.org, American Psychoanalytic Association. opsu.edu/socialwork/career.htm. Ashoka.org, International Development, Human Rights, Environment, Health, Economic Development. ASWB.org, Association of Social Work Boards. bc.edu/offices/careers/resources for/GSSW students/SW jobs. BeASocialWorker.org, Be a Social Worker. BJSW.oxfordjournals.org, British Journal of Social Work. BLS.gov/IAG/TGS/IAG62.htm, the Healthcare and Social Assistance Sector. BLS.gov/OC/CG/CGS040.htm, Social Assistance, except Child Daycare. BLS.gov/OCO/OCOS059.htm, Occupational Outlook Handbook Social and Human Services Assistant. BLS.gov/OCO/OCOS067.htm, Occupational Outlook Handbook Counselors. CareerEducation-Advisor.com/social-worker-career-working-environment.htm. CareerPlanner.com, Mental Health and Substance Abuse Social Workers Job Description. Careers.socialworkers.org. Careers.state.gov, Careers Representing America. CareersInPsychology.org. CareersTirides.com/social_worker_sample_resume.html. CareerWeb.com/jobs/social-recreation-workers. CareManager.org, Geriatric Social Workers. Children'sDefense.org/about-us/join-r-team, Children's Defense Fund. CHSFL.org/group-residential-care.php, Children's Home Society of Florida. ci.alexandria.va.us/children_and_youth_services/job_club.html. ClinicalSocialWork.com. CMHC.com/joblink. CMHC.com/www.board/bb2.htm, joblink, Mental Health Net. co.sacramento.ca.us/employ/spec/class/pdf/mental health worker.pdf. co.siskiyou.ca.us/humsvc/supervisory.htm, Siskiyou County Human Services. co.washington.or.us/department/mts/sup_surf/hr/class/jobs. Social work job websites social worker job websites 3. collegegrad.com/careers/proft40.html, social and human service assistants. collegegrad.com/careers/proft41.html, career information, social workers. coloradostate.edu/departments/socwork/lists. commbuild.org. commonwealthgames.org. conferencealerts.com/socialw.htm. connexions-direct.com/jobs4u/job family/social work and co-en selling services/socialworker.cfm. cosw.sc.edu/swan, social work access network, College of Social Work. University of South. counseling.org, American Counseling Association. counseling.org/career/career.htm, American Counseling Association, ACA. counselor-license.com, counselor license, professional counselor licensure requirements for each state. cpsajobs.org. criticalsocialwork.com. cshse.com, Standards in Human Service Education. csuchico.edu/swork, School of Social Work. csus.edu/org/lswn, Latino Social Work Network. cswe.org, Accredited Social Work Programs, Council on Social Work Education. cswe.org, Council of Social Work Education.bls.gov/oco/ocos056.htm, Occupational Outlook. cswe.org, Council on Social Work Education, CSWE. naswd.org/practice/school/default.asp, cswe.org, Council on Social Work Education. cswe.org, Social Work Education. cswf.org, Clinical Social Work Federation, Inc. dcf.state.fl.us. dcinternships.org. dcinternships.org/ipvs/about Institute on Philanthropy and Voluntary Service. degrees.info, Social WKBS, MS, and PhDs. degrees4success.com, Find Social Work Career Education. degrees@capella.com, Social Worker Training. Departments and agencies on USA.gov. devex.com, International Aid and Development. disabilities2ds.syr.edu/resources/employment.aspx. diversityworking.com/canada/careers/counselors/counselor.html. diversityworking.com/canada/career/government/state_and_government_jobs/social_work-key. eahec.ecu.edu/telehealth/career4.html. ecarers.com, the leading social care jobs board. Educational resources from schools to scholarships, licensing, publications and careers in social. education-research.com/articles/careers/medical_careers/medical_social_worker. education-portal/social_worker_career.html. ehow.com, Social Services Jobs. employmentguide.com. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/national_association_of_social_workers. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/school_social_worker. essential.org, Citizen Activism. essential.org/good works. eval.org/programs/career center.asp, American Evaluation Association Career Center. extendedcarenews.com uaa.alaska.edu/clubs/club/social-work-coalition.cfm freedsoceelworker.com, burnout frigglefraggle.com/social-work.aspx fundforthepublicinterest.org, Fund for the Public Interest Gallaudet.edu, College for the Hard of Hearing, Some Jobs George Warren Brown School of Social Work at Washington Geron.org GlobalServiceCorps.org, GlobalServiceCorps.org, GSC GoodwillWCT.org/human+service+job+opportunities Guide to onlineschools.com, Social Work College Programs Gumtree.com/jobs/social_jobs gwbssw.worcestl.edu/gwbhome/jobs/swjobs.html, Social Work and Social Services Jobs Online gwbweb.worcestl.edu/career development/jobsonline/pages/internetresources.aspx gwbweb.worcestl.edu/jobs, Social Work and Social Services Jobs Online Social Work Job Websites/Social Worker Job Websites for gwbweb.worcestl.edu/jobs, Social Work and Social Service Jobs Online gwbweb.worcestl.edu/jobs/links.html gwbweb.worcestl.edu/jobs/swjobs.html, Social Work and Social Service Habitat.org, Habitat for Humanity HandsNet.org, Human Services and Community Development Information HandsNet.org, Human Services News has details about licensure for mental health professionals, health, substance abuse and developmental disability services statewide. health.searchbeat.com/socialwork.htm health-alliance.com hhs.gov/careers, Health and Human Services Careers hhs.gov/or, Department of Health and Human Services hirebio.com hhost.com hotjobs.com hscarers.com hscarers.com, Human Service Careers Network hspeople.com humandevelopment.vt.edu idealist.org, Guide to Nonprofits idfpr.com/dpr/who/prfcns.asp, Illinois Professional Counselor Licensing Information iHireHealdHandsSocial.com, Medical and Social Work Jobs iHireSocialServices.com MakingTheDifference.org/federalcareers/socialwork.shtml iHireSocialServices.com, iHire Social Services in state and local government, provide additional social assistance. Internationalsocialworkjobs.com isa-sociology.org, International Sociological Association isb.net/certification, Illinois School Counselor Certification Information jhu.edu/careers/explore/majors/psych.html jobandkusa.com job-description.jobs-in-social-and-welfare-work.html, Jobs and Social and Welfare Work jobjournal.com/article_full_text.asp?rdd=1559, Career Snapshot, Social Worker, California Job joblink.socialworkers.org jobs.shrm.org, Society of Human Resource Management jobs.thenadd.org, an association for persons with developmental disabilities jobs-socialservice.com Journal jsu.edu/depart/sok/career_in_social_work.html Latino Social Workers Organization layc-dc.org/index.php/programs/social-services. learn4goed.com/allied-health/social_worker_careers.htm. Social work job websites/social worker job websites 5. lib.umich.edu/socwork. lib.umich.edu/socwork/swlonlineref.html. library.ucd.edu.au/guides/social mastersinsocialwork.com, Masters in Social Work Programs Online. mastersinsocialwork.com, Masters in Social Work Programs Online. mdrc.org. medicalcareerinfo.com/social_worker.htm. medicaljobstoday.com/career-resources/social-worker-jobs.html. medsearch.com/print?article=socks/articles/job QA/index.asp. mentalhealth.samhsa.gov, National Mental Health Information Center. mentalhealthjobs.com. mental-health-today.com. mentalhelp.net/joblink. mentalweb.com. mhaac.org/patient_rights_job_description.pdf. mhprofessional.com. missouri.edu/SSW main/outlook.shtml. missouri.edu/SW-tree. Montgomery county-md.gov/content/ohr/career/level2.asp?job_d=SW. Mountain Environments. Mountain.org, Mountain Institute, headquarters in Washington, D.C., domestic and international programs for sustainable economic development, conservation of. msa.md.gov/msa/mdmanual/01glance/html/social.html #local, Maryland Department of Social Services. mss.ca.gov/socialworker/ California. naceweb.org/jobwire/jobwire.aspx, the. nasbonline.org/standards/index.aspx, National Association of School Psychologists. nassembly.org/nassembly/na_job_display.cfm, National Human Services Assembly. nasw.org, National Association of Social Workers. naswca.org/jobbulletin.html, Social Workers California. naswdc.org, National Association of Social Workers. naswil.org, National Association of Social Workers, Illinois Chapter. naswil.org/factlicense.htm, distinction between a licensed social worker, LSW, and a licensed clinical social worker, LCSW. naswil.org/licensure.htm, Illinois Social Work Licensing Procedures. nationalhumanservices.org/hsworker.html. nationalregister.com/osd.html, National Register of Psychologists. nationalservice.gov, Corporation for National and Community Service. nationalservice.gov/about/careers. nationjob.com/hs. nationjob.com/hs, nationjobs, Human Services Jobs. naz.edu/department/career_services/humservjobs.html. nbcc.org, National Board for Certified Counselors. nbcc.org, National Board of Certified Counselors, is the largest certification service of the. ncdhhs.gov/mhddsas/Central Hospital, Central Regional Hospital provides oversight for the mental. nctsnet.org/about-us/job-opportunities, openings for professionals in child traumatic stress. netimpact.org, creating social and environmental change. netimpact.org/careers. nimh.nih.gov, National Institute of Mental Health. niu.edu/careerservices/weblinks/family.hdm niu.edu/careerservices/weblinks/interest/federal_agency.shtml, federal agencies. niu.edu/careerservices/weblinks/interest/government.shtml, government career page. niu.edu/careerservices/weblinks/psych.hdm noz.com, Human Service Education. Social work job websites/social worker job websites 6. nptimes.com, Nonprofit Times. nyu.edu/socialwork. nyu.edu/socialwork/www.rsw, World Wide Web resources for social workers. ohio.edu/careers/students/healthbib.cfm. oncareers.net/careerinformati onsocialworker.hdm. onlinemswprograms.com. open-health-human-services-job-center.hdm. oregon.gov/dhs. oregon.gov/dhs/spd/pubs. oxfamamerica.org. peacecorps.gov. philanthropy.com, Chronicle of Philanthropy. philanthropy.com/section/jobs/224, PHOENIX-DEGRES-INFO.com, earn a social work degree online from Phoenix University. preservenet.cornell.edu, PreserveNet. proftraining.com, Professional Training Institute. psychopolis.com, Psychology, Health, Social Workers Community. psych.org/index.cfm, American Psychiatric Association. psych.org/jobbank, American Psychiatric Association. psychboard.ca.gov, provides information about additional licensing and examinations in California. psychiatry.org, American Psychiatric Association. psychjobs.net, PsychJobs. publicservicecareers.org. qddp.org, National Association of Qualified Developmental Disability Professionals. rileyguide.com/social.html. rockridgeinstitute.org. rdckids.fmhi.usf.edu, the Research and Training Center for Children's Mental Health. satisachevon.com/tilde/nair/poverty_subject/id26.html. salemstate.edu/library/research/internet_resources/soc.htm. sc.edu/swan, education for social work. sci.csuhayward.edu/mwe/jobenfo.hdm, description of mental health job titles. Scoville.org, Herbert Scoville, Junior Peace Fellowship Program for college graduates. simplyhired.com. simplyhired.com/a/jobs/list/q-counselor #view-current-jobs. siop.org, Industrial and Organizational Psychology. cue.edu/arts-and-sciences/social-work/grad_admission_assistance.shtml. smith.edu/libraries/research/subject/social-work.hdm. socialproject.com/jobs.html, California. socialpsychology.org/career.hdm. socialserve.com. socialservice.com. socialservicenetwork.com. socialwork.com. careers.socialworkers.org, the Social Work Career Center. socialworkjobbank.comcr.com, caregiver, babysitter, eldercare, etc. placement service. socialservice.com, jobs and social/human services. socialserviceemployment.com. socialservicejobs.com. socialservicenetwork.com, social service network. Socialservices.com, New York. Socialservices.com. Socialservicesaz.com. Social work job websites / social worker job websites 7. Socialservicesesco.com, Colorado. Socialservicesfl.com, Florida. Socialservicesga.com, Georgia. Socialservicesil.com. Socialservicesks.com. Socialservicesenc.com. Socialservicesnewjersey.com, New Jersey. Socialserviceser.com. Socialserviceswa.com, Washington State. Socialserviceswi.com, Wisconsin. Socialwork.ndo.co.uk. Socialwork.socialservice.com. Socialwork.uark.edu. Socialworkcareers.co.uk. Socialworker.com. Social work job websites / social worker job websites 8. Socialworker.com, the new social worker online. Socialworker.com/career.htm. Socialworker.com/jobs.htm. Socialworkers.org, National Association of Social Workers. Socialworkjobbank.com. Socialworkjobbank.com, jobs in social work and related fields. Socialworkjobbank.com, Social Work Job Bank. Socialworksearch.com. Socialworkstudentcenter.com, for current social work students as well as recent graduates. Socialworktoday.com. Sociology.vt.edu, Sociology Department at Virginia Tech. Sociologydegreeprograms.org/social-work-careers, social work careers. socsci.csu-fresno.edu, College of Social Sciences. sonoma.edu/hs/jobs/jobops.html. sova.vt.edu/creativetechnologies.html, School of Public and International Affairs, in College of Architecture and Urban Studies. sparknet.net/TJ-clear. special-ed-careers.org/career_choices/profiles/professions/social.html, School social worker. ssw.umich.edu/resources/browse.html. sswhc.org, social work in healthcare. state.gov, U.S. Department of State. stthomas.edu/social work. studentshelpinghonduras.org, Students Helping Honduras. sw.uh.edu/alumni/joebboard.php. theagapecenter.com/organizations/counseling.htm, counseling professional organizations. thearcccr.org, Arc of the Central Chesapeake Region. therapies4kids.com, child social worker. therapistoccupation.com. therapyjobs.com. therapypost.com. theusc.csd.sc.edu/swan. uap.vt.edu, Urban Affairs and Planning Department at Virginia Tech. udel.edu/csc/chp.html. uncwill.edu/staff/careers/majors/socialwork.htm. usa.gov/agencies/federal/all_agencies/index.shtml, az index of U.S. government. usaid.gov/careers, U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID. usajob.gov. usc.edu/department/social work. uec.edu/career/students/explore/profiles/socialworker.htm. vault.com/career-company/cmsu-mental-health-agency.html. virginia.gov/home/government/executive/state-agency-search, Virginia. vocational.rehabilitation.counselor.jobs.com. whittier.cps.k12.il.us/community/prg/lswo, womencenter.vt.edu/get-involved/placements.html, Women's Center at Virginia Tech. Work and welfare. Work. workgateways.com/job-social-work.html. ynpn.org/career center, Young Nonprofit Professionals Network. Social work job websites 9. abcsw.org, American Board of Examiners in Clinical Social Work. Click on the Find/Post Jobs link for access to open positions posted by third-party recruiters. aphsa.org, American Public Human Services Association. Click on Job Bank for listings in Human Services. cswf.org, Clinical Social Work Federation. cswe.org, Council on Social Work. freedsocealworker.com/careerresources.htm. hscarers.com, Human Services Career Network. nyu.edu/socialwork/IP, information for practice. IP is a resource for social service professionals that is updated daily. nacsw.org, NACS JobNet Career Center. seniorhousingjobs.com. socialworkjobbank.com. socialworksearch.com. socialworker.com. amicusrecruit.com. Amicus Recruit provides recruitment services for the social work, social care, and health sectors in UK and Australia. Information about vacancies, training, and contacts. entrustsocialcare.co.uk, Entrust Social Care Ltd, recruitment agency with vacancies for qualified and unqualified social workers for permanent and temporary posts, includes job listing, and information for candidates and employers. swiis.com, SWIS, suppliers of social workers, teachers, interpreting and translation staff. Features vacancy search, client and candidate testimonials.